one power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, yet we see it everywhere in everything. There's one power indescribable, yet we speak of it in every word we say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or Heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. Oh, it's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power.
As we begin, let's still ourselves by turning inward. Through open hearts and expanded awareness, we feel together into our deep connection in spirit. There is but one creative force, and never can we be separate from this power. We come here to remember our connection in spirit and to renew ourselves within it. This morning, my prayer is for right sizing. Often I see challenges as way beyond me. My caring and concern lie far beyond my capacity to do. It gives me great pause. And so I stop, I ache, I ask, I wait, I listen. I remember what we came to remember together this morning. I am not alone. I am never separate from the inexhaustible creative force, everywhere and always. As I listen and wait, it nudges me, pulls me, speaks to me, renews my energies, offers me inspiration and unexpected support. This morning, as I work to right size, I accept and I claim my small space in this vast universe. Each of us is small in the face of all that needs doing, yet each of us is called into that space that is only ours to claim, to do the work we are each called to do, fueled by all the love we have to give. My gratitude for others as we join in doing our little bits of good work together is profound. It brings me to joy, and so it is.
It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunlight on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon for its love that's most deep. It's one power. It's one power. It's the power of the love that lives in you and me. It's the power of one power, one power.
Around and around we go, singing our song, sweet and low, our song of love, our song of life. You choose what you want to hear. Spring's eternal life or death's eternal damnation. Love's summer song or winter's heartache pose. This life is yours. Sing what you may. Come sun and sprinkling shower, you can give a tune to everything, no matter what the hour. Sing your song to your heart's content of love's ballad or death's lament. Sing your song to be heard from highest hill to eternal flower. Sing it high, sing it low, but sing it anyway, for life is for singing the praises, for being here.
I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender.
Good morning. So we're back. Last week, the Uniteens and I and John all went to Unitreat, and we had an amazing time, and a couple of our campers are going to talk to you about what happened. So, Alana?
Last weekend we went to Unitreat, as you heard. We did many things that were fun, like a ropes course and a dance. We also had many good meals, with some people having tapatio every meal.
And a lot of orange juice.
Yes, and a lot of orange juice. And we also made candles to represent the light within us. And you, yes.
What do you want me to tell you? Yes, no, you don't have to. So, I wanted to give this to the church, specifically to represent the light that you guys in this church and everyone around us.
Wow. Thank
And
you.
sorry it's a little broken, but that's just because it's thin.
Awesome.
It's also very thin, so it's
Awesome.
broken.
Thank you.
Very broken.
Okay, would you help me in blessing these kids?
Thank you for being our family. Thank you for being our friend. Thank you for blessing and teaching us. God bless you. Amen. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender.
Thank you, Stacy and crew, for providing all those wonderful experiences for our youth. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see all of your faces. And I do, as Matthew was singing, I said, I see that one power now, that light on the sunlight on your faces. and I don't have to blink when I'm standing up here. It's an advantage, even when the lovely sun is streaming. I was with the group that went to the Parliament of World Religions, and I mentioned that, well, because it was a very significant event in my life's experiences, and also because I'm still recovering a little bit. It was just it's something done on such a grand scale. I've been to many workshops and many conferences and love that sort of thing, but I'd not been to one where there were 7,500 attendees from every country, I think, in the world, and as many offerings as we had from early in the morning until late at night, day after day after day after day after day. And I did come back, I will admit, feeling very small. And, that inspired my prayer for right-sizing. I'm still trying to get myself right-sized in perspective with all of it. I also came back feeling an even greater, appreciation for our community, for my community, and for a philosophy that gives me comfort and freedom and inspiration. I felt very lucky. One thing I learned at Parliament is that unity is not the only spiritual movement that rose out of a more traditional religious movement. Of course, unity rose out of Christianity. Several have sprung up in various places on the globe: India, Middle East, most recently the Hawaiian Islands. Movements that focus on putting aside dogma and doctrine in favor of a more direct connection with the divine. These other movements also draw on wisdom from many sources, as we do in unity, emphasizing oneness and the interconnection of all life, including our living planet, and equality for all people across gender and race and politics and economics. I think of them all as sowing seeds for our being able to think in terms of global society. Equality among people and honoring diversity are very important to us here at Unity in Linwood. We welcome all people. Sexual identity, sexual orientation exclude no one from a place at our table. We value racial diversity, and I think I speak for others when I say we wish we had more. People are welcome from all religious traditions here, and no one has to give up their own personal rituals or practices that have meaning to them in order to be a part of this community. We honor differences here, and in the sense of knowing that people have different gifts to offer, and we welcome people to join in by offering their unique gifts whenever and however they are able. Everyone is welcome to the variety of activities happening, and there are many. You will hear about them. And this morning I want to invite you to an activity that we do every week, and that is to gather over in the Friendship Hall following service just for conversation and refreshment. Together it gives us a chance to get to know each other a little bit. Another invitation I have for you this morning is to join our Giver Circle. Our Giver Circle is our program for standardized giving, and it's very flexible. You can pay your tithe and love offering by cash, by check, by credit card, or automatic withdrawal from a checking account. So it's very safe and easy and convenient, and it can be changed if needed. It does provide, because it offers an ability to our board of trustees, it offers them a great gift. If you find consistent value in our services, please consider making this conscious commitment, which may be even the most important part of it. Giver Circle offering cards and stones let us, if we belong to Giver Circle, have something to put into the offering basket when it comes around on a Sunday, and these are usually right there on the little table as you enter or exit the sanctuary. Forms for joining Giver Circle can be found in the information rack right to the left of the door as you exit the sanctuary. Unity offers us tools, practical tools, which help us navigate life, things we can do in the day-to-day. Unity tools are affirmative prayer and denials, which I think of as directed thoughts, and meditation/silence in whatever approaches work best for you. And of course, there are many. our co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, taught about the power of our words, and they also demonstrated that power in their personal lives. Charles Fillmore said, one of the first lessons to be learned by the student is that the word is the seed. These words, hidden in the darkness of the mind, germinate and sprout and come into visibility with all the scientific accuracy of the ordinary plant. You might think tomato plant. Seeds become tomatoes. So restating, the words we hold in our minds are very powerful in shaping the realities of our lives. Unity in Linwood has a prayer ministry and a group of prayer chaplains that support our community in many ways. So every Sunday, chaplains make themselves available to us after the service for a time of one-on-one prayer, if that suits your needs in this moment. You would find them right up here on either side of the sanctuary. And there are many other ways that our prayer chaplains address our prayer needs. If we have one that we would like to submit in writing, we can use a prayer request form that's right in the back of the chair in front of you. And of course, always, any time of any day, we can go online to our website following prayer links. We have a confidential prayer line we can call. The address, that number are on our bulletin. And we have a new method now, thanks to Julie Newman. We have a Unity in Linwood app, and I tried it this morning to see how many clicks. It was a 3-touch process, and there you are, ready to submit a prayer request. So anytime you might feel that need, know that our chaplains would be honored to receive your request. Could I ask the chaplains to just stand for a moment so we can thank you for your service? And we thank you. Affirmations, another tool, are positive statements of highest truth, and they help us claim the fullness of our own expression. Because we sometimes sabotage our best intentions with unspoken, even subconscious negative thoughts, we pair affirmations with denial. So this morning, we'll share a denial and affirmation. It'll be on the screen right behind me, and I will read it first so we can kind of take in its meaning, and then I will invite you to stand if that works for you, and we can share it. It is not from the world, but from the deep waters of my own heart that purpose reveals itself. So I listen, so I trust, so I do, and so it is. Please stand. And together, it is not from the world, but from the deep waters of my own heart that purpose reveals itself. So I listen, so I trust, so I do, and so it is. Thank you. Let's all take a minute to just say hi to each other while we're on our feet.
Stay up, Unity in Linwood. Just stay up and find the eyes of someone across the room and say, what good fortune you get to be with me today. What good fortune you get to be me today. And then find the eyes of someone else and say, what good fortune I get to be with you today. What good fortune I get to be with you today. Find another set of eyes and say, I see such a truth in you. Together, I see such a truth in you, and I'm here to help you let it out. And I'm here to help you let it out. Have a seat, Unity in Linwood. Have a seat. Words of invocation used by Charles Fillmore. I am in the presence of pure being. Together, I am in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. And immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge your presence and your power, O blessed Spirit. I acknowledge your presence and your power, O blessed Spirit, in your divine wisdom. In your divine wisdom, now erase my mortal limitations. Now erase my mortal limitations, and from your pure substance of love, and from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world. Bring into manifestation my world according to your perfect law. According to your perfect law. Whew. Thanks for coming today. Oh, heavens. Every service has an ambassador. This person's role is to assist you, to support you in your exploration and discovery of this ever-evolving, unfolding divine idea we call Unity in Linwood. If you have a question about what we believe, about what we teach, about what is available to you, you are welcome, encouraged, invited to engage this soul in conversation. She is available to you. Her name is Nan Allen. Would you wave to these kind people, please? Nan. They hoot for you, Nan. Yeah, we do love her, don't we? We tend to think of gratitude as something that happens to us when life shows up exactly as we have deemed that it should. Unity would offer a different take on that, and that is that gratitude is a proactive spiritual discipline that can be utilized in life. Press this idea with me, won't you? This Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock p.m. It is an unusual service, one in which you have the opportunity to talk more than I do, as if that were truly possible. Next Sunday, yes, I heard it. But I am a discerning human being and ever using the powers of order and wisdom to choose. Okay, I'll stop right there. Next Sunday, following this service, it is a Commitment Sunday luncheon. If you are part of the Giver's Circle program, if you are a contributor to Unity in Linwood's system of automated giving, please allow us to celebrate you. Please allow your board of trustees to thank you. Simply register in the back. If you would like to learn more, please join us. Become educated. Consider if that might be a fit for you at this time. Betty Thornsberry, beloved Betty, for the second week I announced she has renounced. Paging Dr. Freud. She has announced her well-deserved retirement. Her final day with us will be on Friday, the 30th of November. Please give her big hugs and lots of love. Finally, what an honor it is. Unity in Linwood has been invited to host Center for Spiritual Living Seattle for a couple holiday services during their time of transition. So it is with grateful hearts that we welcome Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis to our center for an experience that she calls the Mother Mary Meditation. Matthew and I have provided musical support for this in the years past, and will do so again this year on December 12th, 7 o'clock p.m. Because of the attendance implications of joining with CSL Seattle, this event is offered on a reservations-only basis. Please visit unityinlinwood.org to reserve your spot. If you are uncomfortable doing so, there is a registration sheet in the back. We would be happy to register you. Whew. It's a lot to keep track of, isn't it? Well, luckily we have a postcard that that was a good segue, wasn't it, Linda? Grab one of these on your way out. It's called A December to... Oh, heavens. He was born in 1756 in Salzburg, making him what we would call today a classical musician. At 3 years old, this child would listen to his sister's clavier lessons. Now think of an old piano when I say that. He would listen to his sister's clavier lessons and thereafter mimic what he had heard, reportedly to great delight. Now this sister was known as Nannerl. Can you imagine going through life as Nannerl? So not only could her toddler baby brother play the old piano better than she could, it was to Nannerl that she would answer for the rest of her life. You know, sometimes it just doesn't seem fair, does it? And yet that's a different lesson for a different Sunday. Nannerl. By the age of 5, he was good. By the age of 7, he was traveling with his family, performing in notable courts from Vienna to Prague, Munich, Paris, London. While attending a performance in the Sistine Chapel, the young boy is noted to have transcribed the music by ear, thereby producing an unauthorized copy of a work which to that point had been painstakingly guarded by the Vatican. Yes, it was an early example of pirating. It's noted that he met Bach during his London stay. Of the experience, Bach is reported to have said, "This kid is a very, very bad dude." That's paraphrasing, of course, but that's the heart of it right there. Also a skilled composer. His first symphony was completed at the age of 8. About you at 8 years old. Whew. But for me, life looked more like ice skating on the sewer and smoking unfiltered red Pall Malls down by the river and pilfering toothbrushes from the local IGA. And while thievery is admittedly an undesirable hobby for a young adolescent, at least it was toothbrushes. I mean, I like to think that I gave some toothbrushes to the poor. I don't really remember. It's possible. Maybe I did. I like to think that. His works eventually numbered over 600, culminating, how rich is this, with an unfinished requiem. He was awarded the Order of the Golden Spur. Now, this is a papal order of knighthood that's awarded to individuals who have contributed in meaningful ways to the church for his many significant religious compositions. He returned from Italy in 1773. He resigned his position as a court musician in 77. And this decision to pursue a career independent from royal patronage would impact the rest of his life, which might be described as moments of prosperity, moments of poverty. He died in 1791. He was 35 years old. Now, I don't know about you at 35 years old. Now, here's what I'd like you to note about this short biography. I have said nothing of the power of his speeches, the importance of his discoveries, or the moistness of his cakes and pies. I've said nothing of the impact of his inventions, the reach of his mathematics, or the significance of his philanthropic activities specific to poor children, each of which is important in and of itself. I've said nothing of these things, for you see, he didn't try to be anything other than what he was. I think it's safe to say that he gave full, unapologetic rise to that which was within him. And when I say unapologetic, he's quoted as having said, "All I insist on, and nothing else, is that you should show the whole world that you are not afraid. Be silent if you choose, but when it is necessary, speak, and speak in such a way that people will remember it." He didn't try to be anything other than what he was. He gave full, unapologetic rise to that which was within him. In another quote, he said it this way: "I pay no attention to praise or to blame. I simply follow my feelings." He didn't try to be anything other than what he was. He gave full, unapologetic rise to that which was within him. In the non-canonical Thomas, it's noted that the rabbi Jesus, Linda, thank you for your comments. Do we all get it that Jesus wasn't a Christian? Whoo! Are we okay? Take a deep breath with me. Jesus wasn't a Christian. The Buddha wasn't Buddhist. I mean, don't want to push too hard here, but he's reported to have said, "When we give rise to that which is within us, it will save us. And if we do not give rise to that which is within us, oh, how destructive that might be." It's without argument that in giving full, unapologetic rise to that which was within him, he changed the world. And I find myself thinking of us, for I believe we exist at a time when the world is ripe for changing. And if there's a lesson to be learned from the life of this musician, I think it's a lesson best summarized by Howard Thurman, who wrote it this way: "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." In normative religion, we might be tempted to say that what the world needs is people who follow the will of God. But what is this will of God, then, we ask? And it's a great question. Rather than perpetuating a model in which this will of God is some galactic game of hide and seek, played by a distant and fickle anthropomorphic male with a beard, one of the many fashionings of human projection, consider this will of God to be the higher potentials unique to you as ever unfolding, ever evolving soul stuff, longing for expression. So to follow this will of God then is to do what was so beautifully demonstrated by this composer. To follow the will of God then is to give rise to those higher potentials unique to you. Higher potentials longing for expression. In a sense then, to follow this will of God is to stop resisting. It's to get out of the way. It's to finally say yes to the promptings of soul. In other words, to follow this will of God then is to cultivate your higher self, and in the words of today's composer, to give it away in such a way that people will remember it. You see, God's will isn't a singular task imposed upon you from without. Stop looking for it in the clouds. God's will is an evolutionary impulse allowed by you from within. Start looking for it within your human heart. Week 1, I don't deny that you are in a body. Who wouldn't want to be in a body for Thanksgiving? I think we can all agree that pumpkin pie alone is a vehicle into transcendent states of consciousness. I don't deny that you are in a body. I just deny that your body is the highest reality of you. In other words, I wouldn't say that it's a lie. I would just say that it's not the whole truth. It's like saying Seabiscuit was a horse, Ali was a fighter, Lincoln was a politician. Not lies, just not the full truth of these souls, you see. It's like saying Bohemian Rhapsody is just another movie. Has anybody seen this thing? I was a mess. Somebody tried to have conversation with me walking out of the theater, and that's all I had. And don't get me wrong, stuff and things are fun. I've written that stuff and things are here to be ravenously enjoyed during their respective hours and to be graciously released, as all must ultimately be released. And while we're really good at the ravenously enjoyed part, we have some resistance to the gracious release part, wouldn't you say? As I've said so many times before, if you want help deciphering what's true from what's false, simply observe nature. Seat yourself before that squeaky screen door for 20 minutes in the morning and observe the lessons of life as they unfold in your own backyard. Nature will not lie to you, and nature demonstrates over and over that we are not the entitled owners of our earthly relationships. We are at best the honorary caretakers of our earthly relationships. It's the humbling awakening that is shared by every new parent trying to guide the shaky adolescent and every adult child trying to guide the shaky parent. You want what's best for them. If only they would listen to you. If only they could hear that endless trickling of wisdom which you offer so freely. And that's why I say it's the humbling awakening shared by new parents and adult children alike. There comes a moment of realization, a moment of knowing that they have souls of their own with trajectories which you cannot see. And yours is to accompany them, to hold their hands in yours, in great love, in great respect, for as long as your trajectories parallel. Oh, that's humbling. And the third in our series, affirm that you are not your story. Another important fallacy to untie. And the fourth, perhaps the most important for us collectively, you're not separate. There's something in you that knows this to be true. It awakens when you truly look into the eyes of another life. There's something in you that recognizes a divine brotherhood, an inherent sisterhood. When we allow that recognition, even the slightest opportunity. Leading us to this final in our series. The world tells us we are to be that. And there seems to be no end to the number of that's which the world tells us to be. As bodies, as professionals, as people of faith. The world tells us we are to be that, and we are to be that, and we are to be that. Take your hand and put it here for me. Here's the higher truth. My friends, you are to be this. So hold your hand up. I'm making this up as I go and say, you can be that. You can be that. I'm going to be this. I'm not going to tell you who the composer is, you know. If you want to know, you'll have to engage this morning's guests in conversation. Oh, take a deep breath with me. You are in for something I call good. Amber and Luca are Serenabea. It's a string duo ushering in the holiday season for us this morning with music, including that written by today's composer. They offer a concert on Sunday, December 2nd at 5 o'clock p.m. Tickets are $25, and this inaugural event marks the beginning of a concert series hosted by them and housed proudly so by Unity in Linwood, a new destination for fine arts in the Northland. Matthew will be available following this service to assist you with registrations, available by searching serenabea.brownpapertickets.com. In the tradition for which you have become so renowned, would you issue, please, a heartfelt, warm welcome to Amber and Luca. Serenabea, please.
Well, good morning, Unity in Linwood. All right. We are so excited to be here today. My name is Amber Seshik, and this is my darling husband,
Erwin Lukaszek, and together we make the Serenabea duo.
So today we are giving you a small preview of our upcoming debut concert on Sunday, December 2nd, and right here at Unity in Linwood. So let's just get ourselves started this morning. How many of you know what chamber music is? Can you raise your hands? All right, now keep them up, keep them up. I need a volunteer. You look mighty friendly right here in the front. What would you say is a great definition for chamber music? like that definition. That's really
beautiful.
good.
Not necessarily chamber, but beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I might steal that as my own. So chamber music, in the simplest of terms, is small setting. Means anything more than one player. Now, nowadays, when people think about classical music, they think about big symphony orchestra in a concert hall, big stage, which absolutely is an essential part of classical music world. However, chamber music was there way before. Symphony appeared in very late 17th century. Chamber music was there since the beginning of creating whatever kind of sound, you know?
So about 2 years ago, we started thinking, how could we make chamber music great again? So often chamber music concerts are kind of like that Betamax you've been keeping in your closet since 1979. I mean, it still works, but Earth has moved on.
So, we deeply believe that people really like classical music, but it often operates in same ways that it did several centuries ago, which is outdated, somewhat boring sometimes. You know, we believe that it needs a little, I don't know, push, refreshment, stimulation, engagement, and that's where we come in.
So Senebeya is chamber music concerts basically reimagined. We have everything from storytelling to audio and visuals. We have interactive experiences, humor rolled together with some of your traditional classical favorites. And the concerts will feature a rotating guest artist and commissioned works, which means that new pieces written exclusively for us that will tell our story will be at most events.
So today we're going to give you a small sample of what we're doing, but just a little bit, you know, the rest comes with a ticket. And we thought we would start with a composer that Richard painted for all of us earlier, so beautifully and eloquently. Does anybody have any idea who that might be?
Mozart,
okay,
totally.
Everybody doesn't have an idea. Okay, sorry. Okay.
So who doesn't love Mozart? We're going to begin our program in 2 weeks with the Mozart duo in G major. And not only will you get to hear the entire work, but we're going to give you a glimpse into Mozart's life in a very different way, but you're going to have to come to the show to find out. So anyway, without further ado, here is a portion from the first movement of the Mozart duo. On the menu, we have a piece by Paul Klengel, which I'm sure all of you have heard tons about. You have stockpiles of his music at... Oh, wait, yeah, you don't know who he is at all. Yeah, we didn't know who he was either. But as we've been discovering music for our music duo, we've really uncovered some really wonderful gems.
So Klengel, Paul Klengel, didn't write all that much music, but what he did write is absolutely beautiful. And the small chunks of piece that we're going to play is titled Serenade. And it was written at the brink of World War I. And in some of the moments, the heavier sounding one, I think you will be able to recognize the heaviness of the period that it was written in. But absolutely beautiful.
So the piece does a brilliant job of evoking lots of different kinds of moods, and we're going to demonstrate 3 major sections from the work. So first we're going to begin with this very light-hearted motif.
And now it transforms into dark and warm melody, and it sounds almost like an ancient chant.
Then we're just going to end with this unnecessarily fast round, which is a children's song, which sounds like kids singing Ring Around the Rosies on 40 pounds of sugar.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to do something that's considered a cardinal sin in our business. Luckily, it's only considered cardinal sin in our business. It's not the same as cardinal sins here, right? So, and what the sin is we are going to give you a sneak peek of our world premiere, the piece that was written for us exclusively by a composer whom I know personally. He was in some capacity involved in my conservatory training back in Europe, and he's a phenomenal writer. But more about him and the piece at the show.
So the piece is written for violin, viola, and piano. And on the second, we will be joined by our wonderful friend Elizabeth Ellis on the keys, and she's going to play several other works with us as well. However, there was just so much good stuff in the piece, just our parts, that we wanted to share it with you guys. So the piece has lots of cool grooves throughout. It has like moments of jazz, and there are even times I almost feel a little bit like hip-hop. Yeah. So when people think of most modern classical music, this is often what comes to mind.
And you know, they wouldn't be wrong. Unfortunately, there is a lot of that crazy stuff going on. But There is plenty of beautiful modern music written nowadays, and this composer is absolutely no exception to the rule. He writes marvelously. And we just thought we would take a small part out of the sonata, unfortunately without the piano, but we're going to have it in the show, and just show you what this is about.
Thank you so much. And guess what? That's just the first half. So the second half, we have to leave a complete mystery to you because we've already said too much. So guaranteed, you're going to have a fantastic time. So let's just recap. What is the date of the concert? At what time? And are you going to be there? All right, that's what we want to hear. We can't wait to entertain you. You can, oh, yes. Yeah.
I have to ask, so you live together and you create music together, and I'm thinking that has to be wildly complicated.
Let's not get into specifics, but yes.
Whew. We're so honored by your presence. Thank you for blessing us this morning. Thank you, thank you. Whew. Can't even imagine
Amber
that.
and Luca, we can't wait to see you again. I think it's a good fit. And I'm just thinking of people that I know that may not be here every week that might like to know about chamber music going on in the city of Linwood. Fun. Oh, okay. Back to present time. Each week, we pause at this point in our service to provide an opportunity for us to give back to our community in the way of tithes and love offerings. Unity teaches prosperity consciousness, abundance consciousness. We encourage ourselves and we remind each other to notice the gifts and the blessings of all kinds that flow through our lives. And I want to share something that I heard a couple of weeks ago at the Parliament that was very, very impactful for me. When I heard a woman who lived through a crisis of drought in Cape Town, South Africa, say, "You simply can't know the value of water until you have to carry it." And it just made me look at many, many, many things through a different lens. We have much to be grateful for. We give most easily when we stand in that prosperity consciousness, and we live most deeply when we're fully engaged in that cycle of giving and receiving. So I thank you ahead of time for any and all gifts given today, not only financial gifts, but your gifts of service.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say
share our offering affirmation with me to bless these gifts. God is my source. God is our source. And that source supports the evolving, unfolding, soul-stirring idea that is Unity in Linwood in miraculous ways. Thank you, ushers. We appreciate your service. This is another moment of pause when we look around and see if perhaps there is someone who hasn't been here with us before at Unity in Linwood. We'd just like to say a special hello, and we're glad that you're here. If you wouldn't mind raising your hand if you're here for the first time, it would give us a chance to do that. And I'm not seeing any hands in the air. In case you haven't been here very long, I'll just point out again the newcomer card in the back of chairs in front of you. And if you haven't yet signed up to receive a couple of emails a month and stay on top of what's happening here, you could fill out the Stay in Touch card and give that to a person with a name tag as you're leaving this morning. Thank you all for being here, no matter how long or how new you are. I have a few announcements, and shall we roll a video to kick them off?
When my hands were emptied, when my hope was gone, I couldn't help but wonder what had I done wrong. But even though my heart was broken, there was no need to despair, 'cause a vessel must be open to put something better there. Oh yeah. Into my empty hands, gently you pour new life for me. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. Now I understand you needed my empty hand.
Thank you, Cameron. And thank you, Daniel Namath, for wanting to be at Unity in Linwood. Daniel Namath was a featured artist for the 7500 at World Parliament of Religions, and he's coming to Unity in Linwood. Wow, yay. He'll be with us for music on the morning of December 9th, and then at 1 p.m. he will be doing a concert for us. And he happens to be the composer of our beloved song, One Power, and we'll be doing One Power and Grateful and many others, some of which we may know, and I'm sure some we will not know. Today's beautiful flowers are donated by Barbara Thorpe, and we all say, happy birthday, John. Barbara said to my very special husband, John, and I didn't want to upstage those special words. If you'd like to make a flower donation, you may do so by visiting the gift shop for suggested donation of $10. The holidays can be a difficult time after the death of a loved one or a pet. who is a loved one. Remember, honor, and bless them on their continuing spiritual journeys as you fully claim the gifts they gave. Join Prayer Ministries Director Barbara Thorpe, who is meeting today doing a remembrance service. So that will happen back here in the sanctuary at approximately 12:30-ish. You can get a quick refreshment. And then come back here for the remembrance service. And please join Kathy Bishop Chalmers for her original Mass. This is happening on November 24th. Did I get that right this time? Very good. And people of all faiths and no faith tradition are welcome to this inclusive spiritual food for the journey. And Kathy is doing a homily for us that day focused on current crises, which I think many of us will find very relevant. Do you love decorating for the holidays? Please join us on Saturday, December 1st, as we ready this beautiful facility for the Christmas season and have a holiday decorating party. And it would be wonderful if you would sign up registering so that people know how many are coming. Reverend Nina Clark invites you to Cultivating Community on Sunday, December 2nd. Current connections create connections and cultivate a deeper sense of community through this time together. Lunch will be provided. And again, please register so we know if you are coming. Do you need a room or a ride, something to share with another in our community? Please consider using our community supporting community bulletin board that's in the Friendship Hall. All these good things that happen at Unity in Linwood can be found on your printed program or by visiting our Facebook page or the Unity in Linwood, unityinlinwood.org website.
And as Dr. Richard said, I will be in the back with the iPad to help anybody that needs help registering to come to the concert of Sarah Nevaeh. And then there's also a sign-up sheet for the Mother Mary meditation. If you'll join me, we'll sing our peace song.
Unity in Linwood, if there's a first name of any soul you would like to introduce into this powerful and palpable consciousness of love and support, just speak that name now. Just speak it into this circle. And we, of course, hold those who are walking amidst the fires to our south. We of course, include those who are marginalized, those find themselves victims of violence in this world. We build a wide enough energetic circle to include all of these, and we invite them into a high and holy, noble awareness, and that is that there is a reality that knows itself as wisdom. That's where we stand. There is a reality, by whatever name we choose to call it, that knows itself as love, ample to any discord, a reality that knows itself as wisdom, ample to any confusion, a reality by virtue of gathering in a building such as this on a morning such as this. We call it God, and it knows itself as life. This is where we stand. This is the gift we give. This is the consciousness which we invite you into. So having built such an expansive fence, we raise our voices with great faith and with great boldness and speak together these closing words of benediction. There is one power and one presence in, through, and around all creation. So we go forth as the eyes of divine love, as the tongues of divine wisdom, as the hands of divine sufficiency, and the bold and ready hearts of divine life. Unity Inland would have a blessed week.